strong band of Italian players. Well, he's ranked 45 in the world, and he's the Italian number 7, to give you some idea of that. He's a passionate young man, Darderi. He's a hard hitter. Loves to get involved in the heat of battle, and he'll be no easy opponent for Nicolás Jarry, who frankly would take any win that came his way at the moment, because this has been a year to forget for the tall Chilean. And the passage of his career over the last 12 months is just a reminder of how quickly things can move up and then how quickly they can go the other way. This time last year in the top 20 in the world, now around the 150 mark.
Sweet.
Let's listen into the coin toss.
One on the left and one on the right. One more. One. Thank you. Only one. Only one. Thank you. Okay. Hello, gentlemen. Few reminders on my side. We have 25 seconds between points, starting automatically 3 seconds after the point. We'll find the shot clock on these 2 corners. For tall boxes, please use number 1 for you and number 2 for you. We have Vol 6 live ELC. Close call will be replayed on the scoreboard. You also may ask if you want to replay. Do you have any questions? No, we don't have the... no. No.
We can ask for the towels?
You can ask for the towel, please, yeah. Any other question? We have ATP or World?
World.
World called, ATP for you. Let's do it again. World.
Yes, sir.
Yusuf, have a good match.
So Nicolás Jarry against Luciano Darderi is our second match here on Court 1 on the opening day of main draw action here at this 250 event in S-Hertogenbosch. And here we are in the top quarter of the draw with Darderi, the number 8 seed, scheduled, if all goes well, to face Medvedev in the quarter-final. Tabilo there in the third match has actually withdrawn from the tournament, so he'll be replaced by a lucky loser. The winner of this then to face that lucky loser, or Jesper de Jong, the wild card from the Netherlands. So potentially a section of the draw that could work well for the winner today. Darderi at the far end, the seeded player. Jarry, giant Chilean, at the near side. A lot of things have gone wrong for Jarry this year. There's no getting away from that. Highly capable grass court player on his day. But the things that have gone wrong, maybe a broken toe that he suffered at his home event in Santiago. Huge event for him, his country, his family. That broken toe forced him to miss Indian Wells and Miami. That was a particular problem because he'd reached the quarterfinals in Miami in 2024, but you can see that the drop-off has come more recently than that. 53 as recently as May, but now at 150. And that's because he won a vast number of points in Rome in 2024, reaching the final of that fine clay court event. And this year was beaten in the round of 64 by Francisco Cerundolo. So those points disappeared from his ranking and he plummeted.
2 minutes.
So for Nicolás Jarry, whose entry ranking for this event came before that drop, it's a very significant period of the season. Any ranking points he can gain back in the other direction now will keep him as a main draw player for the majors in the foreseeable future. Otherwise, he'll find it very difficult to find direct entry to this level of tournament or higher in the near future. For Darderi, no such issue. The world number 48. who's been in the top 32. And playing here for the first time, maybe indicative of a slight change in strategy for the man born in Argentina. He's never come to the grass courts so early in the season. This time last year, played an extra challenger on the clay in Perugia after Roland Garros. And the clay, of course, is the surface where he has built the ranking that he's established to this point. Will be a first meeting for these two players. Though Darderi has just given us an indication last year that maybe the grass can be to his liking. He got a win in Mallorca, then beat the British wildcard Jan Chowinski in the first round at Wimbledon. More significantly than that, though, took Lorenzo Musetti to 5 sets in round 2 at the All England Club. Led Musetti by 2 sets to 1. And Musetti, as we know, had an excellent run at the championships last year, had been to the final at Queen's prior to that, and has become really a member of the elite, one of the players really who's in the sort of second tier behind the top 2 in the ATP Tour ladder at the moment. So maybe he can draw from that at the start of a new grass court campaign. So a second match of the day, the opening day in S-Hertogenbosch at the Libema Open, the 250 event at the Autotron in Rosmalen. Nicolás Jarry of Chile, the big man who has struggled this year, up against Luciano Darderi of Italy, the number 8 seed, who will be hungry to keep improving that ranking. Both players who probably would choose to play on a dirtier, a redder court than this, but who can certainly deliver a telling blow. Jarry to get us started.
Hello, 15.
Slightly inauspicious start for Nicolás Jarry, and it is so strange to see him with a ranking of 150 next to his name.
15-0.
But there's nobody he'll come up against this year who will consider him to be a player worthy of that kind of number. Though Jarry himself might be the first to say, well, the rankings don't tend to lie.
30-15.
He's had some misfortune in addition to injury. Broken toe keeping him out of Indian Wells and Miami, and you can always ill afford to miss the big events where, yes, the big money, but the big ranking points come as well. And they're an obligatory part of your end of season number. There's no making up for missing them, really. Just a little late on the forehand, and questioning the absence of a call when Darderi's previous strike had come off the baseline. Darderi's not the kind of player to die wondering. I mean, he will go after returns. He will go after every ball that he can. He's a hard hitter, but he's an uncompromising figure. Still early in his career at the age of 23, Darderi. After the double fault with the opening point of the game, Jarry comes through to hold. It'll be some early comfort for him. It's not just been the poor fortune of the injury coming at a bad time, which it certainly did. But once you start losing your ranking, and again last year he was top 20, Nicolás Jarry, and seeded in all the big events. But when you start to lose that, then the draw can be unkind, as it was in Australia right at the start of the year. He was ranked 35, 36, so very nearly seeded for the Australian Open, but wasn't. Drew Yannick Sinner in the first round, of course, and lost. But Roland Garros drew Arthur Fils in the first round and lost. I wonder whether the very opening point of the match, when Jarry's second serve seemed to penetrate through the net cord, whether that's the issue that Darderi's coming back to it. It seemed to disturb the material on top of the net at the time. Francois Lutz in the chair was reassured, so too Luciano Darderi.
Left for service.
Neither man's going to have the time on the ball that they would ideally like today. Darderi moved really well along the baseline there. Firstly, to get to the return, which was good, and then to deliver this exceptional backhand pass. That was not the movement of somebody who is uncomfortable on a grass court on the very first day of the new grass court season. That's caught the eye. And with the clouds a little bit more threatening than they were at the start of the opening match of the day here on court 1. And the grass very green and new. It's all the more impressive.
15 love.
Well, he gave him half a chance there, Jarry. The serve was so awkward, up into Darderi's neck area. Did well to prolong the point, the Italian. Jarry then gave him half a chance, which he couldn't take. Jarry did very well to handle extremely awkward, low bouncing ball. That's just the maturity of knowing sometimes anything will do. So Jarry, through the opening couple of service games, leads 2-1. So Luciano Darderi to serve for the second time. Clearly expecting the call of time to come a little earlier than it did.
Low.
Champion in Marrakesh from earlier this year, Luciano Darderi on the clay. Really committed to that, Darderi. Demonstrative, really, of the kind of wholehearted player that he is. Many players, certainly so early in the grass court season, would have given this up after an excellent volley from Jarry, but not Darderi. He went hurtling towards the hoardings. Indication of how he trusts his movement on the grass as well.
30, 50.
It's the second indication that we've had of that sort already in the match. Neither player missing too many first serves in these opening exchanges. Jarry's only missed one in 2 games, Darderi 2 so far. High standard of return from Nicolás Jarry in that last point, but Darderi dealing with it with great confidence. He's an exuberant young man. If you're around him on the practice court, there's always a smile and a joke and a friendly word. He's always prepared to engage with spectators. And to watch him practice Darderi in Hamburg on the clay not so long ago with Andrei Rublev was to watch 2 players hit with extraordinary force. It's good grass court tennis from Jarry. He knows with his sizable frame, 6'7", the Chilean. And he's going to be very hard to pass or to lob. Darderi clearly a little bit uncertain about the overhead conditions. I think he's got the feeling that we might be due a shower in the not too distant future. That's really well played by Jarry. And wherever you are playing grass court tennis around the tour, you'll always get an extra ripple of applause when you move forward to the net and take care of a couple of volleys with such aplomb. Really making sure that the ball did not get up off the surface for Darderi to have any kind of serious play at it. Played it with care, almost too much care. Had time, almost too much time. Well, Darderi is just hoping to prize open a crack a little bit here. There's clearly some weather around, and it may not be long before it gets an awful lot greyer and an awful lot wetter. Jarry's just got to keep his composure here and his focus. Well, that was a brilliant pickup from Nico Jarry, because a game that he should have won at 40 love was getting a little bit sticky. But that pickup saved the day and maintains his lead in this opening set, 3-2. A change to the wet weather tyres is coming. Darderi champion from Marrakesh earlier this year. It's the second title of his career. Won in Cordoba, country of his birth, Argentina, last year. Clay, certainly he would say, is his natural habitat. Got a very good record against players outside the top 100. Only a couple of defeats, 16 victories, but hasn't yet made a breakthrough against a player inside the top 20. You sometimes feel there's such exuberance, as almost naivety about his game. Well, on the opening day of the grass court season on the ATP Tour, we might be about to have the first shower.
Time.
It's feeling a little nippier. And we've got our first umbrella. One of those changeable early summer days. He's getting on with things. Doesn't seem particularly perturbed. Jarry's done a good job in the early stages of getting Darderi moving around the baseline. That's a good finish by Jarry.
15-30.
To say I was impressed with the way Darderi picked up the initial ball that was hit so hard at him down the middle with a little chopped slice, reacting very quickly to the speed of the ball off the court. But he's under a little pressure here. Second serve in at the body, paying dividends. Try and use your opponent's greater reach to your advantage by keeping him from moving too far. Well, it's a good hold for Darderi, who was certainly under a little bit of pressure at 15-30 and facing his second serve. But the standard of serving from both men has been pretty high to this point. No wonder it's 3 games all. It's credit to Jarry that he hasn't started like a man who's really been struggling for form, really been struggling for match wins. There's 5 of them on tour this year. Excellent backhand, driven down the line from Darderi. Jarry was a quarter-finalist here the only previous time he came to S-Hertogenbosch, 2019, eventually beaten by Richard Gasquet. But the 2 players he beat in the opening 2 rounds, Jarry, were a young Yannick Sinner and Stefanos Tsitsipas. 2 pretty good wins to get to the quarterfinals of a 250. And his record on the grass is by no means the worst of players your research. 8 and 10 at tour level coming into today. Former quarterfinalist at Halle as well. And he was playing really good tennis in the middle of 2023 as well. Took a set from Carlos Alcaraz on centre court at Wimbledon. In the year that the Spaniard became Wimbledon champion for the first time. Well, that was a loose one from the Chilean. And the door ajar for the first time. Break point for Darderi. That was a brave second serve under pressure. Kicked it with lots of spin and plenty of pace out wide. close to the lines. Was an excellent pickup from Jarry, but a point of high quality from Luciano. Darderi on return. Gets this backhand right down at the toes and then has the movement and the skill to just flick the cross-court pass. A second break point. Second one snuffed out by good serving from the Chilean. Well, that's all you can do is improvise a return when necessary, get the ball back in play. And see if the server will help you in your quest a bit, which Jarry has done there. Well, his movement in the opening 20 minutes or so has been absolutely superb, Darderi. Because Jarry really forced him out wide with a fine serve, and there was nothing wrong with the volley at all. It was fine grass court play from Jarry. But again, Darderi did not give it up. He was very quick across. Nearly kept the point alive. And he didn't win the point, the Italian. When you move that well and that quickly and make the opponent think you might get an extra ball back, you do plant a seed in the mind, and it can pay dividends across the duration of a match. Well, he'll have to wait for his reward, Darderi, but he's put some pressure on Nicolás Jarry in that service game, which the Chilean has done well to resist. He maintains the advantage. 4-3, still the shower hasn't quite materialized. Good little boost for Nicolás Jarry. He's played enough grass court tennis in his time to know what kind of things he's looking for. He's been prepared to approach the net regularly in these early stages. Already 13 times, actually, winning 10 points at the net, so it's been beneficial to him as well. Darderi's speed across the court is already there for us to witness. There certainly were a few raindrops in the air around 10 minutes ago, but mercifully, we might have been lucky. It may have just passed us by. I recognise that such a statement does come with risk. But here we are at 3-4.
Love 15.
Really came through the grass very quickly and quite low for Nicolás Jarry. And for a man who was trying to step into the court to take it early, that was particularly troublesome. It's the challenge for Jarry, who's got a bit of an opening in this game, will be given he's had, as we've tried to emphasise, quite a number of difficult breaks over the course of the year and has seen his ranking slide alarmingly. Can he overcome any adversity that comes his way today or in the near future? Still only missed 4 first serves, Luciano Darderi so far. But 79% of them in these early stages. Well, Jarry saved 3 break points in the previous game, and how often do you see that if you get through a difficult service game, then an opportunity might come your way very quickly thereafter. Well, he was good enough to make the pass. Jarry asked the question with a slice approach, and maybe it could have been deeper, but there wasn't much wrong with it. Darderi just watched it really carefully and guided that backhand up the line. Break point very well saved. Not too much for Jarry to reproach himself about, though. The player's good enough to hit that backhand up the line over the high part of the net to a low bouncing ball, then have to accept it. That's a return he'll find harder to accept, Nico Jarry. It's a very good hold of serve for Darderi. Both have come through pressurised service games. The biggest figure in his tennis life isn't here in the coaching box this week. Luciano's dad, also named Luciano Enrique Darderi. His dad's been his coach from the start. Like his son's quite a passionate character, quite an exuberant fella.
30-15. Let for 6.
It's a smashing volley from Jarry,
14-15.
and the call from Bravo from the far end from his opponent. Maybe a little bit too much elevation on the return.
Let for 6.
15 times he's moved forward already in this opening set, Nico Jarry. Darderi far more prepared to attack from the baseline.
Game. Jarry.
And he's proving a difficult object for Darderi to dislodge. No break so far, 5-4. It's turned from what threatened to be a bright summer's day into one of those days when, yeah, everybody's looking at the hot chips and feeling like they wouldn't be a bad idea. Day when everybody's got at least a couple of layers on. We've spotted the odd umbrella where the sunglasses are definitely up on the top of the head rather than over the eyes for most. So we've had wins earlier today on the opening day of main draw action here at the Libema Open in S-Hertogenbosch for Gabriel Diallo of Canada, who's beaten Alex Vukic of Australia in 2 tight sets. Very good serving display from Diallo, who was good under pressure when it counted, particularly at the end of the second set. And a win for Nuno Borges on court 2 against Nishesh Vasavaredi, who was here on a next-gen invite, the young American. Borges, the number 7 seed, is safely through. Darderi, the number 8 seed,
15 love.
serving to try and stay in this opening set. Qualifying is still going on, by the way. First day of qualifying on Saturday, we were due to have 8 matches in the first round. Only 1 got completed because of rain. So those matches were finished yesterday, Sunday. Really awkward return from Jarry. Darderi does what Darderi does, which is clobber the forehand. Jarry was waiting for it. Well, it's a brilliant initial slice down the line from Jarry, which created the opening.
15 serve.
And Darderi, who's moved around the baseline with great accomplishment, found he was a little uncertain when he was drawn further forward. And he's under pressure here at 15:30. Oh, it just got enough racket on it to push it into the open court.
30 all.
And the drop shot was just good enough. Jarry moved forward well to it, and the bunt down the line could have been effective, but well read by Darderi. That is a frustrating miss. He's banging the rally at 30 all, 2 points away from the set. It's so little difference between perfectly onto the line and pulled wide by 6 inches. But he stayed aggressive. And he's got his reward. Darderi made him play an extra ball, somewhat unexpectedly.
Advantage, Darderi.
Excellent serve in at the body again, cramping up the big man. Not giving him the room he craves.
Game. Darderi.
And that's a splendid hold.
Following serve.
Darderi 2 points from dropping the opening set. Jarry gave him a little helping hand in the 30-all point. But both men are serving well, both over 70% of first serves in. Jarry 73, Darderi 74 currently.
Love 50.
It's Jarry, though, whose unforced error count is just creeping up. Darderi only 5 unforced to this point.
Ball. No.
Really good return from Darderi. Not for the first time. He's been able to direct the return right down at the toes of the advancing Chilean. He's got some attributes, Darderi, to be a real threat as a grass court counter puncher. And there's another helping hand from Nico Jarry. And the Darderi camp are animated. Keep the feet moving. You might get a chance here to grab a vital break. Not much you could do with that. Marked difference at the moment in the percentage of points the players are winning behind their second serves. Darderi at 88%, Jarry only at 36. If he gets a look at the second Darderi, he'll fancy his chances. So all the more important that Jarry lands with the first. Darderi did not see it that way, but look how precise it was. Break points 4 and 5 that the Chilean has just saved. But he has peppered an otherwise encouraging performance with a few errors. And those errors have given regular encouragement to the Italian. Oh, he's made it. He's improvised a break of serve in a point he had no right to win. But a strong mentality and strong wrists when it mattered have given Luciano Darderi the break. He just stood there and did what he could, and it was enough. And he'll serve for the set shortly at 6-5. Good though it might feel for Darderi to have achieved that break of serve, for Nicolás Jarry it will be equally as demoralising. How many times as he advanced on that ball floating just over the net would he have put it away for a simple winner? But it always feels like when things are going against you, you just get punished for the slightest misjudgment. An error at deuce, that was all on him. And then he went back at his opponent, who decided not to move, and all of a sudden the ball was looping back beyond him. Looks relatively even-tempered for the time being. Well, the way Luciano Darderi has approached this match, he's a player who has had his greatest successes so far as a professional on the clay. He's come from Italy with a background in Argentina. So many players have traditionally come without great hope for the grass court season, but I don't think he's won. He is here to make things happen. He's moving well. He's striking the ball nicely from the baseline. He's watching it closely. He's staying well. You can see the strength in the legs as he bends the knees. Takes short swings when necessary. And he's got skill. He's got real skill. He's got a personality too that people warm to. And he's composed as he was in that last point.
30, 15.
First double fault comes 2 points from the opening set. Oh yes, that really was hit with wicked speed across court. The whip hand of Nicolás Jarry. Stepped forward into that. Darderi could barely believe it. Nothing much to lose for Jarry in this set now. That's long.
47.
Couple of big points when he's just struck the backhand beyond the baseline. Set point for the number 8 seed. And it's finished with aplomb. What a splendid little drop shot to seal the opener from Luciano Darderi. An underlining of the skill set that he possesses. And he grabs the opener by 7 games to 5. Well, he looks like he's bringing a highly positive attitude to the grass court campaign. Luciano Darderi starting it in this first week for the first time. Look at that, officially 4 winners, but only 2 unforced errors, and that's been at the root of his success in this opening set. Largely staying on the baseline. Jarry winning 8 of 11 points at the net. Darderi barely venturing forward, but very solid from the baseline and very skillful there as well. Both players serving to a high standard, but look at the discrepancy in second serve points won. That is a major advantage for the Italian, and a major reason perhaps why he grabbed that break of serve late in the opener. Darderi it is who has the advantage. I think we've been fortunate with the weather so far. As we take a look at some of the best bits of the opening set taken by Luciano Darderi. Well, it's a fresh grass court season, so we're all energised, as you can see, by new week. Grass court campaign getting underway. Well, not every week can be the French Open. Not every match can be a final like yesterday's, but still, we've had plenty to entertain us in these first few hours. And you can still admire the standard of hitting here between Nico Jarry, former top 20 man, now 150 in the world, and Luciano Darderi, who is the number 8 seed, just inside the top 50 at 48 in the world. And he grabbed the opening set. Really just a point here or there decided it. can see from that shot there is rain around.
Turning off.
We're in a patch of sunshine at the moment, mercifully. And Nico Jarry has to keep the blue sky in his mind and keep those clouds at bay.
Pop.
It's the kind of power striking that took him all the way to a Masters 1000 final in Rome last year, Nico Jarry. And when it works as well as that, he hits the ball as cleanly as he can, when he's serving down from so high and hitting the forehand so cleanly. Easily see why he's been such a feared opponent on the ATP Tour. But all professional sport, you never know what's quite round the corner, and that final he reached in Rome in May last year was the last final that he attained. In fact, he hasn't been to a semi-final since. Good hold at the start of the second set as he looks to try and wipe his mind of what happened at the end of the second. Jarry won a couple of titles in the early part of 2023. Won his hometown event in Santiago. What an emotional occasion that was. Beating Thomas Martin Echeverry, a very tight match in 3 sets. Then won Geneva as well, just before the French 2 years ago, beating Dimitrov in the final. And again, the first half of 2024 was good. Final in Buenos Aires, the final in Rome. So he's been used to accumulating large numbers of points and confidence and success and all the things that go with that in the first part of the year, on the clay, in other words. And of course it hasn't happened this year. And a good part of his season has amounted to little. And that's why he finds himself in the predicament he is. Beautifully struck return right out of the middle, and it seared through the grass. A frustrating miss on the backhand. And the unforced errors on that side are accumulating in particular. It was unusually heavy-handed for Darderi. He's played with good touch in the opening hour of this match. Overhead conditions changing all the time. They were looking up to see if the rain was coming earlier. Now they're looking up into the bright light. Oh, that's a brilliant point. And superbly won by Nico Jarry. Under intense pressure, it has to be said, because Darderi's movement once again was scintillating. Look how far he is behind the baseline. It's an excellent volley from Jarry, and still he has to play one more ball. And boy, does he play it with an excellent angled volley, almost behind him. And still he got there. Well played. Oh, that's sensational from Darderi. The movement to the backhand side and the dig before the passing shot. I mean, it's really top class. That was the ball that forced Jarry to play an extra one, drew him forward, and then he snared him with a cross-court pass. Well, there's not much in it. The margins are slim, as they always seem to be. The net cord betraying Jarry there. But my, did he deserve the good fortune with the point he played prior to that. Some splendid tennis from both players in that second game. Won't be too many better points this week than the one where Jarry finished with the cross-court volley. Last year's champion here in S-Hertogenbosch was a supreme mover in Alex de Minaur's. Movement on the grass will always get you a long way. Darderi's got that. He's got a real ease on the surface, it seems to me. Well, I don't know how Darderi made a return on that at all. The ball kicked up like it landed on a pogo stick. Went flying up through the air, and still Darderi made Jarry play an extra ball. Too much noise in the surrounding seats for Jarry. Seems to have dealt with that with good grace.
30-15.
Excellent serving from Nicolás Jarry. Still both players at more than 70% of first serves landed. Darderi with the only break of the contest so far, and that's why he has the advantage. So Luciano Darderi, the Italian,
Time.
who took the opening set by virtue of breaking the 11th game. An improvised winner that somewhat stunned Nicolás Jarry. Serving at 1-2 in the second.
89.
Still serving at 72% of first serves in. Really kept low on Darderi. He's got a terrific eye. He's been able to adapt really well to subtle changes in the height of the bounce. That was just a little too much. That's outstanding. The first forehand was a real beauty, taking it all the way across court into the corner, and then the wherewithal to go back behind as Jarry tried to recover court position. Well, again, he feels like the ball kept a little lower than it might have done. I was really impressed with this pickup after an excellent return, and that was a sensational pickup. And the footwork again, he got himself into a position to hit the forehand with really quick steps. A bit too much on the ball from Jarry. Into the grass court season, you need to be able to adapt and to accept. And when the new balls come, some new equipment will come too. First week of the grass court season on the ATP Tour, of course. For some ATP players, it began with the Challenger event last week. Nico Jarry was one of those who went to Birmingham in England for the Challenger there. Get some matches under his belt. A man in need of rebuilding his ranking. And out early at Roland Garros, so over to the Midlands he went in the UK. Beat Tristan Skulkate in the first round before losing to Adrian Mannarino in the second. So this for Jarry is the third match of his grass court campaign. Mannarino, somebody who's done well at this event in the past, a winner before. Somebody who's gone out in qualifying this week. Beaten today by Alex Bloks of Belgium. Qualifying continuing today when it would normally have been done at the weekend, but for bad weather on Saturday, which just knocked things back a little bit. But on courts 5 and 6 at the moment, the remaining qualifying matches are being played. Dan Evans of Great Britain is playing Mace Rödkering, young Dutch hope. Again, Darderi just able to improvise something, and that's something paying dividends. It's the old racket in front of the face in self-defense maneuver, but he's got the hand skills just to judge the contact. And Jarry provided the rest with the error, putting himself under a bit of pressure. It's another outstanding point from both. Superb serve volley combination from Jarry, but look at the wheels from Darderi here. Look at him go. Gets so low to the grass. Even though he's moving quickly, there's no hint of trepidation or uncertainty, fear of a slip. He's really moving with conviction. And he's staying present in these Jarry service games. Even that last point, which he didn't win, is making Jarry feel like he only just won the point. This could be a significant moment. This time it's Darderi who makes the error. It was another big second from Jarry, who knew he had to be brave. He's winning way less than 50% of points on that second serve. It was deep, and that's what helped him stay in charge of that point. Darderi is pouncing when he gets a good look at the return. And he's just not letting Jarry off the hook, really. Yes, it's another superb return point from Luciano Darderi. And it's another break of serve, well earned. He's been really impressive so far. And the number 8 seed has a set and a break advantage. Not at all put off by the frequent serve volleying of his opponent. Able to guide the returns down, to read the intentions, and just to feel the ball back at the toes of the Chilean. I think he's doing pretty well to keep a lid on things, because he must be in the big picture pretty dispirited with the way that 2025 has gone. But there hasn't been a great deal of him outwardly signing that fact. Darderi, this has been skillful and mature. I feel like it's a long way back for Nico Jarry from here. It's a long way back up the rankings for him too, from his current position. For Darderi, the future seems an awful lot brighter. What to say? Darderi, who I've seen on the clay courts at times get over-eager to hit the forehand like a rocket. Watches a forehand go back past him like one. It's almost with Darderi as if the reduced amount of time on the ball is actually making him think more clearly, helping him think more clearly. Well, here he comes. This is not a man who is going to go gently into the Dutch evening. And he hit the forehand as clean as a whistle. And he hit it quickly. It came back at him with speed. But the natural ball striking talent of Darderi has been on display today. And he served pretty well too. He's still hovering around the 70% of first serves in mark. Jarry's at 71% and he's a set and break down. I'll tell you something about the way that Darderi has played.
Yes.
He's only faced one break point in the match so far. Darderi came in the 8th game in the first set. But another strike to an excellent length from the Chilean gives him a second break point in this match. How bright is his immediate future? Just hasn't been able to take a chance. Hasn't been able to exert enough pressure in the key moments. That's the return though in this game that's done the damage. The forehand central, close to the baseline, putting Darderi on the back foot. And he's got the look at the second. Oh, it was right on the baseline from Luciano Darderi.
Yes.
And credit to him for that. But a couple of centimetres the other way. If is the longest word in sport sometimes, and it doesn't help you to think in that manner. Just struggling to find a first serve in this game at the moment. might be his best backhand of the match, Jarry. Jabbing one down the line after a highly competent return. And in this game, he isn't letting go. Oh, yes. That's high quality. Couldn't do much more with the return, Jarry. Hit it pretty cleanly. Sharp movement again from Darderi. Clean hit. Again, Jarry is finding the length on return here. Maybe just starting to read the patterns of the Italian that bit more clearly. And he wasn't expecting that. What an extraordinary finish from Nico Jarry after a quite delightful rally. How about the pirouette finish from the Chilean? What about that? Still he can't put together 2 points in succession against this tigerish Italian who won't let Jarry get the break he craves, whatever highlight reel shots he's able to pull out. Jarry's keeping him stuck behind the baseline. To say Darderi in the juice side seems to be serving onto that giant forehand. It's a little bit more regularly than is advisable, but here's another chance for Jarry, a sixth. And the sixth time is the charm. And with the help of some tennis from the stars in that game, Nico Jarry has sparkled enough to get the breakthrough, his first break of serve in the contest, and he pulls it back to 3 games all. He just kept going. That's a real victory for perseverance as well as the brilliance that we enjoyed in that last game.
$30.
Supreme touch again from the big Chilean. That's very calmly done from Jarry. And the serve placed onto the outside of the line. That's not the way that Darderi seemed to see it. Jarry, having broken back, is ahead in set number 2. So 2 excellent games from Jarry. The first time today he's got 2 of them in a row. That was the serve that Darderi questioned. He felt it had gone into the tram lines. Jarry playing to the whistle, as they would say. Carried on to excellent effect. Still very much the threat of a shower in the air. Some sad news for the home fans in the last few minutes. Botik van der Zandschulp has had to withdraw from the tournament with a forearm injury. Had a medical test earlier in the day, but he's not going to be able to take his place in the draw. So he won't be taking to the court later on centre court. So van der Zandschulp has had to withdraw from the first round with a forearm problem. So his match against Mattia Bellucci now won't take place on centre court. This afternoon was due to be walking around about now, in fact. Made good ground to get up to it. Might whip it over the low part of the net. The situation with van der Zandschulp is complicated by the fact that qualifying is still underway. We knew prior to today that Alejandro Tabilo had withdrawn from the first round, so his place was going to go to a lucky loser, so 5 of the 8 competing in the last round of qualifying today would get through. Really heavy hitting from Nico Jarry. He's just starting to feel it. 1 or 2 danger signs here for Darderi. Van der Zandschulp unable to take his place on centre court today. And assumes another lucky loser will get a chance. Just not today.
30-15.
Well, he's worked admirably hard, Jarry, and produced extraordinary quality at times to get himself back in this set and back in the match. He's still feeling like the tennis gods may be leaning in the opposite direction. Oh, that is a beauty. That is a real beauty. Cushioned it over the net. Landed like the first butterfly of the year. Plays with real personality. He's an easy player to like, Darderi. Sending a message to Nicolás Jarry that he's not disheartened by the manner in which Jarry broke him back.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Good luck on the second round. $30.
It was close. It was very close. Well, it was more out than in, but it was still in enough. That was more obviously there.
Heel veel succes, geweldig dat je er weer bent. Elise Mertens. En dan een nieuwsverzoek. Want u kan helaas niet spelen. Zo dadelijk.
Volley was not a clean winner, but it was deep. It was very close to the baseline. And Nico Jarry, step by step, has got himself a chance in this match. Well, we've dodged the showers in the late morning, early afternoon in the Netherlands. And Nico Jarry seems to have dodged the prospect of an early elimination for now. Set and break down. He's got the break back with that extraordinary effort in game 6 of this set. He's nudged himself in front. Test of the confidence of Nico Jarry now. Where's the belief at the moment? If he can find some, it'll be a heck of an effort. 5 tour wins this year. Last time he had back-to-back wins on tour was Brisbane back in January. It can be exhausting on tour when you're playing all the time, when you're winning all the time and you don't get breaks between matches, but it's tough also when you're travelling from venue to venue without winning matches. Ooh, that was in. And again, Darderi is somewhat baffled by that. Must have struck the very back of the baseline. But Jarry's in a bit of a groove on return at the moment. Last time Darderi saw it from this end, he was broken.
Dankjewel. Ja,
Really
Jasser.
impressed with the way that Darderi is responding to the slice ball from his opponent. Jarry threw in the forehand slice there just to change the rhythm. It's a cracker. It's a real cracker from Jarry,
15-30.
who's really cut down on the unforced errors. And he's starting to play with the authority that we know he has played with when he's been far higher in the rankings than he is now. Oh no! A little too exuberant that time from Darderi. Didn't need to be as good as that. Might even have been trying to spin that one back into the net, the way he shaped to hit it. And he's offered up a couple of break points, couple of set points for Jarry. Was calmly dispatched. First serves are going to help. Certainly hasn't served as well in the second set as he did in the first, the Italian. But Jarry has returned an awful lot better in the second set as well. And from being a breakdown and on the brink, he has fought back to take the second by 6-4. What a fine effort that is from the Chilean. Well, Jarry took the break to take the set. Darderi's taking a different type of break to try and reset after that. And who can blame him? He could see the finish line. And Jarry could see another week ending with a first round defeat, and he was not prepared to accept it. Serious competition from Jarry. And whereas in the first set, he was struggling on his own second serve, the numbers have been reversed in the second set. It's Darderi who was struggling to defend his second, and Jarry, who was brave at times, who won 3/4 of the points behind his second delivery. Jarry turned the set around. Well, just as we were etching the name of Luciano Darderi into the draw sheet for the round of 16, so the former top 20 player Nico Jarry has come fighting back like a man who really does not want to stay as low down the rankings as he currently finds himself. This was quite the comeback. So Darderi has disappeared to take a bathroom break between sets, as he's absolutely entitled to do. And Nico Jarry remains. I have to say, it's a really impressive effort. Confidence can't be anywhere near as high as he would like. He's lost a lot of first rounds. He's had injury trouble this season, which has derailed him, taken him away from the big events. He's had tough draws to deal with and tough losses. And when you are moving around the world in that kind of a funk and seeing your ranking take a dramatic dip as all the points you'd won from the Rome final 12 months ago disappeared in one chunk, and he went from 53 in the world to 150 in the space of one tick of the clock, it would be all too easy to let a match like this slip away. But Jarry has shown us today what it means to be a top-level professional athlete and how keenly he wants to preserve his place amongst the world's elite players at the world's biggest events, because with his ranking as it is now, 150, his place in those tournaments is in jeopardy. It's gone for the moment. He's got to get it back inside the top 100 to be guaranteed to play first round of the majors. A little bit higher to play first round of the Masters 1000 events, the kind of events he's been entitled to play and has played with distinction over the last 3 or 4 years. He's not prepared to let it go. And it's days like today where, you know, the courts are brand new, there's cloud overhead, the crowds to begin with are small. It's this kind of day where you earn your keep, where you really make the difference, where you choose not to let it slip away, where you choose to fight. And that's what Jarry has done. A few more have found their way into court one, the second match of the day. First match here was won by Gabriel Diallo of Canada, his first win at tour level on the grass. He beat Alex Vukic of Australia, 7-5, 7-6. Another really enjoyable match. Diallo, like Jarry, tall man with a big serve.
Final
You can
set.
see making inroads on the grass, not that he's done so yet. Here we go in the decider then, with Jarry to kick us off.
Love. Top.
That's outstanding from Jarry.
14 love.
He's timing the ball more cleanly, finding a regular length. This was a superb forehand, dipping into the corner. Had a real clay court feel of it, loaded with topspin. And the drive volley wasn't easy to execute either.
Top.
Darderi changing things up with the chip and charge.
First game fans.
Jarry, unperturbed by the different picture in front of him, moved his feet beautifully to get around that. It was a lovely gap for him to strike the winner. He looks in the flow at the moment, Jarry. Bad news for home fans earlier in the day. You might have been with us. Botic van der Zandschulp, we learn, has pulled out of the tournament with an injury. In the qualifying, two young Dutch players are battling for their places in the main draw as we speak. S-Hertogenbosch, still a teenager, has come back to a set all against Dan Evans of Great Britain, and Thijs Bogaard is a set down to Mackenzie McDonald. Matches that were delayed due to bad weather over the weekend. Qualifying still to be completed.
Top.
I think we reckon that the four players who win the final round, Alex Blocks, Mark Lahal, and then the two remaining winners from the qualifying competition will take their places in the draw, plus two of the four losers as well, with lucky loser spots available.
Low.
Well, an authoritative start to the deciding set by Darderi, which is just what he required. Darderi is still persistent and he's still making Jarry play the extra ball. Feels like the difference to set one is that Jarry's just not missing the extra ball.
Top.
Now Darderi's temperament under the microscope. He's had a winning position in this match, which has got away from him, largely I think because of his opponent's excellence.
Top.
Superb from Darderi. This time it was Jarry doing the scampering across the baseline and defending for his life. And he made Darderi play several extra balls, but the Italian was good enough. Nice volley when it came to it as well. Excellent point for Jarry to win, because the return was right onto the baseline and very awkward. And he opted to go straight at him with a shot that otherwise would have been a pass. It's high quality hitting and it's hard work. Whoever wins this is going to have to earn it. Neither man is going to let this go.
Is that close to the court? Rain is actually inside. Rain.
Top.
It's amazing, hey? I see that the snow that the heels.
Game up. New ball
He's
speed.
really digging deep, Nico Jarry.
Jarry leads 2 games to 1.
It's a real lesson in not giving in. He leads 2-1.
Maar ik ben dat toch met hem aan het bespreken. Wat zeg jij dat wij niet luisteren? Je hebt dat net tegen mij gezegd, toch? Je komt er net tegen mij gezegd, toch?
We avoided a shower by the narrowest of margins a little earlier in the afternoon. There are certainly some droplets around at the moment. Francois Lutz has been testing any dampness, for any dampness on the surface of the grass. And the umbrella coming down is always a good sign. It's right in the balance. Darderi had a winning position and a set and a break. Jarry came roaring back in set number 2. And really set the terms for set number 3. He's raised the standard.
Top. Steady love. Ball.
He thought he saw a puff of white, but
Ball. 30-15.
certainly didn't see one on the second serve.
$40-15. Game, Darderi. Two games over.
It's another pretty clean service game from Darderi. 6th ace of the contest. And we haven't yet seen the decisive action in this deciding set. Just a reminder, by the way, if you're keeping track, that Van der Zandschulp withdrew from his match against Mattia Bellucci earlier on. It's due to take place around now on centre court.
15 love.
And the difficulty with that for the tournament organisers is that his place would logically be taken by a lucky loser, but qualifying is still going on. So we don't know who the lucky losers are going to be until qualifying is finished. Superb finish again from Jarry. His confidence is really still high. So no opponent really can step in to face Mattia Bellucci just yet. So that match has been moved from the schedule. An extra WTA match on centre court.
Ball.
And Bellucci will find out his opponent later, and that match will take place tomorrow.
$30-15.
So the only remaining singles match in the main draw today is now Thompson against Kovacevic, which is not before 4 o'clock local time, so an hour from now.
$40-15.
Yeah, it's a beautiful volley.
Jarry.
Took all the speed out of it, but maintains his momentum
3 games to 2.
in this match. Jarry leading in the decider on serve at 3-2. He really has brought the best out of himself in this last set and a half. It's been a performance of authority. It's as if he's willed himself to stop the errors flowing, kept himself moving forward. And he's kept hitting aggressively. He's been returning much better. Genuinely steadfast here, but he's still not guaranteed the win that he really desperately craves. Looked like the alpha male on court at setting a break to the good. Luciano Darderi leading 3-2 in that second set, but was instantly broken back. Jarry took 4 of 5 games to grab the set. with some inspired play. It's a beauty, it really is. A change of direction, a change of grip as well. Sliced cross court to keep the ball low and then floating one down the line to avoid the incoming opponent.
Sergio. Top. Top. 30, 15. Top.
It's a super return.
Sergio.
Again within centimetres of the baseline, and it puts some pressure on this next point for Darderi.
40-30.
Well, neither man's giving an inch at the moment, and it's making for a captivating contest.
In love.
Time he did get the return in deep to the toes of the Chilean.
Let the service.
Just cut across that a little too much. That's where the speed of Darderi might just have put a little doubt in the mind. How good did Jarry feel that volley had to be to beat the speeding Italian? Is that one where the movement early in the match brought a long-term dividend? Couldn't improvise away past Jarry, who felt a bit stranded at the net, but kept calm. He was on his knees at that point, and a little bit at the mercy of Darderi. That was a decent pickup. It was awkward for the Italian, and he couldn't find the way through. And that's a big hold for Jarry, and that at 30 all was a very big point in the context of this match. No way through for Darderi. Jarry remains just about in front. Well, the conditions aren't ideal for spectating. Temperature's dipped somewhat. And there's a little bit of a lingering concern that we might get some rain. But the spectacle is excellent. And a reminder that even on first round day at a 250 event, there is always tennis to warm the heart. And these two really are going at it. It's a pleasure to see. General pattern of things, Darderi doing most of his good work from the baseline, Jarry looking to use his wingspan, get forward in the court when he can. Has played one or two outrageous volleys, notably in the 6th game of the second set, in which he broke back to keep his chance alive. Both have served pretty well, though the numbers have dipped a little bit since the opening set, when both were in the 70s in terms of first serve percentage points. Nobody's had a chance yet in the decider, not a break point yet in set 3. But well read by Nico Jarry, who seemed to know before his opponent did where Darderi was going. Great anticipation. It was an awkward dig, lots of side spin on the ball there, made Darderi reach. And Jarry just played the angles really well, played the percentages. Well, Darderi's doing what he does, which is hit harder under pressure. And at that point it paid off, but you can see he's feeling it. Well, in initial net cord for sure.
30-15.
Wasn't certain whether the pass flicked the top of the tape as well. But it was a good pass for sure, and it had to be. And Jarry applying the pressure again.
14-15. Game, Singolare.
That's a good hold from love 15.
4 games all.
Another occasion when one of these two has responded to the challenge set down by the other. Still no one's blinked in this deciding set. High quality match. Whoever gets through it will be really emboldened in this section of the draw.
Love 15.
That's back-to-back points he's won on the Jarry first serve. Luciano Darderi. And it's opened the door. Oh no, he didn't put the first volley away, that was the problem.
Love 40.
And the second was on him in a flash. That was the one that should have gone. The second was more awkward. And he tried to stop it, overdid it. And the shock of missing the first one was still present. 3 huge chances here for Darderi. Well, he's gone to the well before in this match. He's digging that little bit deeper now. That's outstanding play under severe pressure from Nico Jarry. It was a brilliant second serve, right onto the service line. Still, Darderi forced him to play an awkward volley. And he finished it with real skill. 2 of the 3 break points have been saved. He was very calm for the third. Again, Darderi did well to ask the question. Did well to manoeuvre a return into the court. Wide serve came down from the heavens. Didn't overplay it. Didn't let the moment get on top of him.
Advantage, done.
Again, he comes up with something when he needs it. It's another super return.
Yes.
Oh, he's made it. What an outstanding pass.
Darderi.
It was a good return, an awkward volley, but the volley was deep and into the corner. It didn't cut through the grass, but Darderi's passing shot was outstanding.
Yes.
That's how small the margin was. Had it dropped in, it would have been incredibly awkward for Jarry. Central right on the baseline. Oh, it's an unbelievable point from Jarry. How tough is this man? Darderi kept on asking the question with outstanding retrieval. Look at him go to get that back in court. How did he manage that? What a hold that is from Nico Jarry. He's fended off 4 break points to stay in front in this decider. His resolve has been tested, and at the moment, he's passing the test. You have to admire it. His competitive instinct. He's driving him on. And his recent results are pointing in the opposite direction. Only one win this season against a top 50 player. And Darderi is one of those. And again, we have to go back to Brisbane at the start of the season for that. The last time Jarry got back-to-back wins on tour. Well, seats are still being taken. Might be the tastiest course yet of this match. It's been terrific stuff. Darderi setting the break up at one point, looked like he was going to win it in 2. Jarry came roaring back. It's an outstanding tennis to take the second set. And now Darderi will serve to stay in the match at 4-5.
15 love.
He wants to see the animation of that serve. That's why. I've got to say, a superb start to the game from Darderi. Having had all the chances in the previous game, it'd be easy just to let your focus drop a few percent. But he really has not done that at all. Well, he's played that service game with the snarl of a bulldog. Maybe the quickest game of the entire match. And Nico Jarry will find himself serving again. Definitely upped the ante here for the Chilean. He will feel like he was serving 30 seconds ago.
15 love.
Final set tie-break in a qualifying match earlier on today, in which the former champion Adrian Manarino was knocked out by Alexander Bloks of Belgium, 8-6 in the third set tie-break. Are we heading that way here?
Low.
Final set tie-breaks are all the rage at the moment. So this one wouldn't be first to 10 if it got to that point.
Ball.
Jarry gives him too many looks at second serves. There could yet be a problem, but when the first lands, he's solid behind it. Well, the least Nico Jarry will get from this match is a final set tie-break. Whether we head there depends on the next game, in which Luciano Darderi will serve. 5-6. Well, maybe it deserves to go all the way. These two have been exceptionally resilient. They've really knuckled down. There's been a refusal on both parts to lose. We'll see if one man's got an extra level to go to over the next few minutes, or whether one can force the other into mistakes that will decide the outcome. It's been a really enjoyable couple of hours on the number one court here.
Time.
Well, the final service game of the match, one way or the other, for Luciano Darderi. 5-6 to take us into a final set tiebreak. He's not dropped a point behind his first serve in this set yet. 17 out of 17 when it goes in.
Low.
Can't quite blame the move, but the skill of Darderi in dipping the slice ball down at the toes of Jarry has been a feature of this match.
Ball.
He's continually made Jarry's volleys a challenge. See why Jarry wants to take it on. It's a free hit in this final game, almost on return.
40 love.
You can see why it's got the interest of that he can start to tip the scales back in his favour to begin the long climb back towards the world's elite. He whipped it cross court, but it kept extraordinarily low,
2-0.
and that put an end to Darderi's defensive efforts. It died on the court. Put away. Unperturbed by any misfortune in the previous point.
Jarry. Jarry.
If he comes through today, Nicolás Jarry, he will be, I'm sure, immensely proud of himself. Rock solid. Gritting the teeth before our eyes here. This is a refusal to lose in the small picture and the big one.
Jarry.
Still think Darderi, whatever happens here, can make good things happen on the grass. Been really impressive the way he's moved around the surface with great speed and control, strength in his legs, ability to stay low, react to the bounce of the ball, time the ball. And he's not giving this up without a fight. Two big serves here for the Chilean could take him to the cusp of a much needed victory. Oh, well reacted. Darderi chose to go down the line with the passing shot to try and go back behind. But the gap was cross court and Darderi maybe chose the wrong direction. So easily said in the heat of the moment. Didn't Jarry react well? Perfectly placed. And he has taken himself to the very edge of what would be a considerable triumph. He's done it. And look what it means to Nicolás Jarry. He's turned this match around. And maybe, just maybe, he could start to turn his whole year around in S-Hertogenbosch. From a set and a breakdown, he wins in just under 2.5 hours, 7-6 in the third. Darderi was excellent and could easily have won today. He showed an ease of movement around the grass early in the season that few do. I think good things can still come for him on this surface. But for Nico Jarry, he dug deep. This was about more than just today. He's had an awful year. He's dropped to 150 in the world from top 20 this time 12 months ago. This meant a lot. And he was hugely positive even when things were going against him. You have to conclude it's a massive victory in terms of his season and maybe even his career. Who knows? He's got an opportunity now this week. He's knocked out the number 8 seed in S-Hertogenbosch. More is possible now for Nicolás Jarry. And this is how, with a total of 47 winners, he was the aggressor. Not that that's to do down Luciano Darderi, who was an excellent defender. He came to counter-punch with his speed across the baseline.